Hey guys, Kevin here in Japan, and I'm just out for a walk in the evening, walking down the road listening to a Canadian public radio show on my iPhone. It's called The Current, and they're talking about something called sweat shaming. Now, here's a term I've never heard of before, and I actually had to, it was a double take when I saw the name of this, the title of this story. I was like, really? Are you serious? Have we gone that far? Have people become that sensitive? Have people become that thin skinned? Yes, I have. And basically, they're interviewing a woman who lives in Seattle. She went into a Starbucks after a run. She's sweaty, wearing her running clothes, waiting in line, and some woman makes kind of a snarky comment about her being sweaty. And she got really upset about it, and she happened to be a writer, wrote a big article in The Guardian about it. Blah, 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 blah. Off you go. Okay, so here you go. Here I go. I think that certain things like fat shaming, and again, these are terms that weren't around a few years ago, but they're around now. Like making fun of someone because of their appearance, if they're different, is being douchey. That's not cool. It's not nice. If you mock someone because they are overweight, or they have a lot of acne, or they have a disability, you're not a good person. You're not a nice person, and hopefully karma will come around at some point in your life and kick you in the back of the head. But at some point, when this kind of term of shaming comes around, I really have to start questioning people about their own self-confidence and having a thick skin or having a normal thickness of skin. Um, like I'm someone who who spent a lot of my life online as an online personality. I've had an online presence, blogger, video blogger, podcaster, and if I didn't have a thick skin, I would have quit this thing many, 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 many years ago. Because people say a lot of bad things about you, and if you, and just often just randomly, like in this video, they might be like, "Man, you look like such an idiot with that like striped shirt." There you go. And if I actually took that to heart, I'm like, oh, they really think I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm an idiot. Or if, why did people say things like this? How can I change people? How can I change people's attitudes? How can I change people and make them say nice things? If I started thinking like that, I would drive myself mad, and I would not be able to handle doing what I do to entertain you awesome people out there. And if you are indeed being entertained. Um, yeah, so sweat shaming. Really? Have we gone that far? Have we become that thin-skinned? I guess we have, apparently. Um, and thin skin is what you need when you live in Japan with regards to heat, because it's bloody hot here. And we all sweat in the summer. I remember my first year here in Japan. I remember I arrived in April, and about a month later, it was like already close to 40 degrees. And I can remember like getting to waking up in the morning, putting on my clothes, and halfway to the train station, I already had like big wet spots under my arms, and I was like sweat pouring down my face and like sweat on my back and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm so concerned. I'm so concerned. Like, self-conscious. And then I looked around. I noticed that everyone else around me was sweaty and miserable as well. Japanese people and foreigners. And I realized, all right, it's all right. This is the way it is. No one will judge me because everyone's sweaty and miserable. But like I'm just it's. I've been living away for a long time from Canada, and the world has changed. The Canada I know, the North America, the Western culture thing is very different than when I lived there. And I hate to say that, but I mean, I sound like an old fart now, just old-fashioned. But I'm sure the 25-year-old me would say the same thing, but just like toughen up, suck it up for certain things. Now, again, if someone is making derogatory comments about you because you're overweight, or you look different, you're a different race, that's just awful douchey. Those people, again, karma hopefully will kick them in the back of the head in time. But the certain things, I think we all, just as people, need to be strong. We need to be strong. We need to be confident. We need to realize that if indeed we were out for a run to make ourselves healthy and feel better, and then we go to a coffee shop afterwards and we're sweaty and someone makes a comment, we just say to ourselves, you know what, that person's a jerk. And we don't have to be like all like, oh no, we have to change the world and change people's ways of thinking. No, just that person's a jerk. And maybe we can send out a tweet about it, like, oh yeah, some jerk in Starbucks made this comment. But there are certain times, I think, that we got to be stronger, we got to be tougher. And I think that a lot of people today are ready to, instead of just being strong, get upset and feel that the world should change for them. And, yeah, I don't know. It's just bizarre, this really strange, I don't know, maybe I'm just like an old man sitting on the porch yelling at the kids, get off my lawn! Don't kick the ball around here. It's too loud when you kick the ball. But at the end of the day, I'll say it again for like the fourth time. When you do call people out for like saying, if you do mock them, like I'm talking about adults here, I'm not talking about kids. Kids can be mean all the time about a lot of things. I'm talking about adults. If you're an adult and you mock someone because of their appearance, you're a jerk. It's that simple. You're a jerk. You are a jerk. But as someone who may be on the receiving end of that, sit back and think, is this really important? Does this make a difference in my life? Should I lose sleep over this? If someone said, guys, if someone made fun of me for every time I had a wet armpit, especially here in Japan, man, I'd have if I had a nickel for every time someone made fun of me for having a wet armpit here in Japan, I'd have a big old bag of nickels. That's for sure. We're talking millions of dollars, potentially hundreds of millions of dollars in nickels. Alright guys, Kevin in Japan, take care. I don't know, just rambling. I feel like rambly tonight. It makes no sense. Nice talking to you.